Nurses, what's something you've seen in the ER that scarred you for life? I was on shift when a mother came bursting through the hospital doors, cradling her unconscious child. He was in a coma, and as I hooked him up to N4, my heart nearly stopped. He was so emaciated, his bones were practically poking through his skin. I made the mistake of asking his mother about his weight, and her demeanor instantly changed. She insisted he had undiagnosed Silver-Russell syndrome, a condition that could explain his severe malnourishment. I wanted to believe her, but I explained that we'd need to wait until he was eating again for an accurate diagnosis. She didn't take that well. At the time, I chalked it up to maternal panic. Then, the next morning, he woke up. That's when I witnessed something that made my blood run cold. I reassured him that he was in the hospital and safe. Later that evening, I noticed he spent almost an hour in the bathroom, vomiting. That wouldn't have been unusual except for the fact that his index and middle fingers were covered in vomit and saliva. This wasn't my first time seeing something like this. I reported his mother to CPS, and when they investigated, they found overwhelming evidence of neglect and abuse. She was arrested immediately. I was worried about the boy, but when I spoke to him, his only question was, "Does this mean I can eat now?" Turns out, his mother had deliberately starved him into a coma multiple times in an effort to secure a diagnosis. I hugged him and promised he was safe now. His response? He clapped his hands and told me it was the best day ever. It took a year, but his mother was eventually placed in a psychiatric facility. And as for him? I adopted him. Now, he's a completely different child. He's healthy, happy, and obsessed with lizards and Legos. Looking at him now, you'd never guess that he was once on the brink of death.